I'm here with my friend Raymond.
Hi, I'm Claretta. I'm Raymond's big sister.
So first of all, thank you for opening up Raymond World for us today. Raymond was born with, how do you pronounce it?
Is
Rubinstein-Taybi
Syndrome.
I've always called it Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome.
It is.
Do you know how rare that is?
Real
You know how
rare.
special that is? It's like 1 in every 115,000 people are born with Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome. And it's a little something that happens on the 16th chromosome. So, whatever, we want to learn about Raymond today.
Yeah.
Describe for me what Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome means to you.
It means a lot of things to me.
Well, what I like is that you've always called it your ability.
Yeah, it is. My ability.
You're a very talented guy. And I think a lot of that isn't just given to you. You're a hard worker. Raymond was born, what year?
1974, December.
With a brother. He has a twin.
Ew.
Raymond has a twin, and his twin is Ben. And, Ben, was highly functioning, didn't have any issues. And Raymond and Ben were just like little crib buddies. And they were very competitive. They loved each other. They protect each other, but they were very much so, whatever this one did, I can do.
Your brother is a rocket scientist.
He is.
And a lot of your developmental targets were hit alongside your brother.
Yeah.
That's great. You had each other to cheer each other on, right?
We still do.
I bet you taught him a lot of good stuff.
I did.
How do you guys get along? Really?
Yeah.
You never argue? You were saying earlier you guys kind of have your own language and stuff.
We do.
Is that true? So what can you tell me about baby Raymond?
Cute and smart.
Raymond was also the type of baby that, he didn't want to be held like this. He would want me to sit him up in my arm and have his head back here and his little feet down here so he could dangle and he could see everything.
Your sister was telling me that you and your brother got on the piano the same age, right?
Yeah, we did. Me and him. Yeah.
How old were you when you learned to play piano?
22 months.
What?
Yeah, I was.
My mom used to always play Christian music at the house, and we had a piano and we had an organ. And you know how they had the little baby walkers where the babies would walk in them? They would walk up to, she'd roll it up to the where the piano bench would be. She'd move the bench out the way and she'd roll it up there for them, and they would hit on the piano. Just hit, and pretty soon she'd turn the radio on and she'd leave them back there and they'd hit, and then they would start hitting and playing songs.
You're pretty remarkable. You are a artist in many ways. You're good on the piano.
You got that right.
And you play the guitar too?
Yep.
For Raymond, it started early, that musical thing. We had an Aunt Pat who came to visit one year. She'd teach him how to whistle, like, she'd whistle to him, and he would whistle back, and she swore that he would whistle, but none of us would hear him, because when she'd call for us to hear, he would just sit there and smile like, yeah, you think I'm gonna whistle for you? I don't think so. And then later on, when she left, I was cleaning the house and I was whistling. You know how you dust stuff and you like whistle while you work. And I had Raymond sitting up in his little baby chair, and I was whistling, and I heard Raymond whistling. And I looked at him and I whistled. He was still going, and he would stop and grin and giggle. And I called everybody in the house and I said, Mom, Dad, I called all my brothers in and I said, he's whistling. And he sat up there and giggled like, and I was like, no, you little rascal. I swear he was whistling.
Initially, your doctor didn't give you a very good outlook.
No.
The doctor pretty much had told my parents, I was like 17 years old, so I really didn't, I got the information secondhand, but they told me that they expected my brother to be a vegetable, not to be very active or highly functioning. They expected him to just pretty much so live, not having a personality, not speaking. Maybe he might be impaired visually and his hearing. And So they really couldn't tell, but it was in the early stages.
What did he say about you when you were born?
He said, in one word, I'll be a human vegetable.
He had this way of crying like a little tractor to distinguish his cry from his brother. So I would say, oh, Raymond's crying. So I'd go and look and he'd just look at me and he'd just be crying just because he wanted me to come and look at him. And I knew then, I said, this boy has good sense. He's not going to be no vegetable.
Were you ever able to go back and tell him, look at me now?
I told him in his face, my favorite doctor of all.
Aw, well, I bet you're his favorite patient.
I am.
How you turned out. So growing up, did your parents have good support?
Yeah, they did.
Was it mostly the church and friends and family?
Church, yep.
74, things were limited anyway. They thought my mom was just going to have one big baby, but it turned out that Benjamin was the big baby part and Raymond was tucked up underneath. And I would say that the doctor, they gave a lot of support once they found out what the syndrome was. They explained a lot of things. My father had been going through training as a teacher for disabled children already. So he knew some things from having taken care of other kids in his school system and having been being trained. So he had a lot of knowledge. But at the same time, I think that the geneticists and the doctor who actually diagnosed, they spent a lot of time explaining to us different things about the syndrome and the effects, the attributes.
As a little kid, what did you need help doing?
And still doing now.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
reading.
What about school? What was your elementary school experience like?
11.
Did you like your teachers?
I sure did.
What advice would you give teachers? What if somebody came into their classroom and said, okay, your new student this year has Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome. What?
That's good news.
What about your friends in elementary school?
I love them too.
Yeah? Did you have a lot of friends?
Yeah.
Did you know any bullies?
Nope.
Everybody loves Raymond. You know that TV show? For Raymond, everybody loves Raymond. Raymond is a sweet, good-natured kid. I remembered in church we had some people who would try to, do some mean little things to him, but I think his big brother handled him. I mean, his twin. His
awesome.
twin was pretty present and pretty ferocious. You didn't mess with Raymond.
What advice would you give a brand new parent who knows their baby has Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome?
First off, to encourage them.
Well, all you can do is watch for their personalities, and just love them. Let them know that you care for them, that you love them, and they will, they will show who they are.
What advice would you give a brother or sister?
Just keep pushing. That could be pushing toward the future.
They will let you know what they like as siblings. You have to find your own way with each brother or sister. As a big sister, you just have to let them know that you love them and you appreciate them and that you want the best for them. As a sibling, you want to make them know that they're safe and that you got them covered.
I know you're a passionate guy. I've seen you really happy and I've seen you angry.
Yeah.
What helps you to feel better when you're angry?
For starters, playing my Yami. That's what.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Yamaha? You call him Yami?
Yep.
I love it. And all morning I thought you were saying Yanni.
No.
I see. I thought you were going to play Yanni. For you to put on your headphones and play some music helps you. So what's your favorite type of music?
Gospel, jazz, and maybe some hip hop every now and then.
Do you ever worry about bad words?
Yeah, I do. Other than that, it's called beans.
All right, so what are you going to play for us now?
You just love me. I played that one ever since I was little.
All right. look out at your friends with Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome, and what would you like to tell them?
Keep strong and keep positive thinking.
Have you ever met anybody with Rubinstein-Taybi Syndrome?
Not yet. I want to.
Is there anything else you want to share with friends?
Keep Jesus in your life.
That's my friend Raymond. Thank you for watching.
Yo.